Okay. Back in the family and against a very talented Georgia team, size and just really proud of our guys' effort defensively, and that's why I really believe our defense is starting to trend up, and we're probably a little ahead defensive than we are offensively, but thank goodness that our defense is starting to play at the level that you got to play in the SEC. Didn't get off to a good start, and I just really felt that our guys were a little fatigued started off, and the bench is so important in what we do, and we saw that on display again. We saw it in the Texas Tech game. We saw it tonight. I thought they came in, Desi, Gabe, Osborne, Reggie Chaney, Keyshawn Embry, and I thought those guys came in and really ignited some energy in the building. And before you know it, our fans were in it. And then the guys coming off, I thought they turned up the intensity. Dan got in foul trouble again. One of the fouls was just silly foul, and he's can't keep putting himself in that situation, trying to go get it back. But the beauty of it is that these other guys are starting to step up. I mean, you look at that, I call it that quick forward position. We got a lot of things from those guys tonight. When you talk about Reggie and Gabe and Adriel, I thought Adriel played well. Matter of fact, he got robbed on one basket where it went in. He had a dunk and just snake bitten on that. But he attacked the basket. I love how he played. But if you look at what those guys brought to the table, I think 17 points. I think we had Reggie had 6 rebounds. Gabe had 3. And then, of course, Adriel, 11 rebounds. I mean, that's big. You know, when they play well, our team plays well. And we had guys make plays. The shot that Isaiah made, I thought he only made one shot. And you could tell he was not himself tonight. But I love the effort of him wanting to be out there and to step up and knock that shot down. That put us up. I think put us up 3, and we didn't. I think we didn't lose the lead after that. Mason Jones, he started attacking the basket, curling and getting in the lane, getting to the free throw line, and eventually we're gonna make shots. But to hold the team to 29%, had I think 14 block shots. That means we were active. You know, Dan had quite a bit there in the second half. I thought Dan did a great job when he came back. You know, after 3 fouls, of protecting the rim back there, and of course Reggie and Gabe. Our guys were really active at the rim. So it's a good win. Wasn't a thing of beauty, but at the same time, in the SEC, you know, games are going to be like that. You got to find a way to win. So we found a way to defend the home court. That was what it was.
You mentioned it a little bit right there, but Isaiah, how much did you expect from him tonight, and what's it say about him to be able to knock down that shot in a crucial spot?
It's a growing. I mean, there's a lot of guys that are playing sick, got a lot of guys playing hurt, but it told a lot about him. I think, you know, he was spent. I mean, I think Reggie threw him a great pass one time, and it ended up being a turnover. And how about that? 4 turnovers, and that was one of the turnovers. Just think about that. That was one of the turnovers that he threw to him, and it was a good pass. He just couldn't get to it. He said, "Coach, I just just congested and all that stuff." But never did he say, "Hey, I don't want to play." And so I think that's a good characteristic to have, especially as a freshman. I mean, you're talking about a freshman, and but then to have the confidence, and his teammate to have the confidence to get it to him and knock down a big shot.
Mike, you talked about your front line. After Gafford picked up that 3rd foul, I think Adriel and Gabe combined for 9 straight points. Then later it was Gafford and Chaney had 8 in a row. Your front line, having all 4 guys putting it together like that, especially in the second half, talk about that because we haven't seen a lot of that this year.
Well, we're starting to see it. I thought we saw some of it in the Texas Tech game. This team is starting to put some things together, even against Missouri. And I just think they're starting to figure out the roles. I think that's the biggest key. And I think that they're going with a different mindset, and they're going, you know, from a defensive standpoint and energy. And you're seeing the quick movement now. Now they're cutting and getting to the hole. They're getting some offensive rebounds. They're getting to the free throw line. They're getting in the open floor. We saw Reggie in the open floor. So I guess they're starting to pick up on things that we're trying to do and know how valuable they are to our basketball team. Because if we can get those guys to giving us that, we're going to make shots. I really do. I think, you know, once Isaiah gets back to full tilt, we're going to eventually make shots. But our bench it's got to continue to develop, and Dan, he's going to continue to be a target. But those guys got to be able to knock the high post shots that they're giving. They're giving them the shots. They got to be able to knock them down. Bob, you get a question now.
I know.
Hey, that's a first down. Way to go. All right. I appreciate you guys on that. Suspended? Okay, that's good. That's a good one there.
They hit a 32 of 48 against Texas. 67%. You guys hold them under 30. I mean, I know you talked about defense, but just how good is it to do that to a team that was so hot their last game?
They scored 98 points. I mean, and we hold them to 60 points. I've been saying our defense, I think, is getting better, and maybe it was, they had something to do with that, or maybe it was some of our guys. But I thought our guys were pretty active, and we took charges. We defended the rim. I thought we did a good job of that. They made some threes and got some loose balls that turned into baskets for them. What I love about our guys, they stayed together, and that's all they talked about. These guys are growing, they're learning. They said it. When adversity came, hey, let's just stay together, guys. Let's stay as one. And that's, for the coach to start hearing that, and that means they're starting to get it.
Hey, Mike, when they opened it up 11-2, 12-4, called a timeout, what did you tell them in the sidelines, make sure that things didn't get out of hand that early?
Is that when I changed? I think I put some other guys in there. I think we started putting some energy guys in. I thought we needed some energy. I thought we just came out just kind of lethargic. I mean, we were slow. I mean, they had like 5 or 6 offensive rebounds, like in the first sequence, it seemed like. And so we were moving the mud. And so we needed somebody to inject some energy in our team, and I thought those guys came in, and they did that.
Mike, 14 block shots. I think that's the most ever in an SEC game. So that's a lot of SEC games since 1992. What do you think about that? And Reggie had 5.
I thought our guys played athletic. I thought at times they played athletic. Maybe not. It's so weird because they out rebound us by 24. We make them turn it over 16 times. We only have 4 turnovers. They shoot 29% from the field. We only shoot 23 from the 3-point line. In fact, we shot 18, I think, in the first half. But our second half we were a lot better. So when you look at those stats there, man, I know they're a much more explosive team than that. So I thought we did a good job of really being and wearing them down. I thought wear and tear, and we got guys in foul trouble. Some of the Hammonds kid, he ended up fouling out, but they had some fouls problems early in the game, as well as us having Dan with 2. I think Mason had 2. Then I think Jalen Harris picked up his 3rd early in the first half. So it's so important that those guys coming off, they got to be able to give us something. And Mason, I thought Mason was big tonight. I thought he really stepped up and he played well for us. Got 6 rebounds and we had 4 assists. And the thing I'm real proud of, he didn't turn it over.
And Mason was just saying that the team's confidence is growing and growing. However, whenever that Ole Miss game was, you talked about the confidence was kind of shattered. Do you sense the confidence has been put back together, and these guys are getting confident again, bouncing back?
They're starting to figure some things out, Bob. I think that's what it is. They're starting to figure it out, and they're starting to trust each other. I think the communication on defense is so much better than it was early on. And when you do that and your defense is good, then they're going to help trigger some offensive things. And so we just got to we're work in progress. We just got to continue to get better. And that's typical of our team, Bob. They start putting it together. They start figuring out their roles. And like I said, they play hard. Like I said, I just thought early on they played tired. But but once we got it going, and in the second half, I thought, our energy level picked up a little bit more. We still got to get better on the board. They had 23 offensive rebounds. You can't do that in the SEC and beat people. So that's something we're gonna really harp on and work on.
Do you think the fatigue was from Texas Tech, the trip?
We had 3 games, I think, in 6 days, didn't we? That's these guys ain't never been through that, Bob. They've never been through that. And not only that was an emotional game for those guys at Texas Tech. I mean, you think about it. They were right there, and they were really disappointed. I wasn't discouraged. So to me, for them to bounce back in this game in the SEC, knowing that Georgia had just came off of a big win in the Big 12 SEC Challenge, I was really proud of our guys. I really was.
Anything else for Coach?
All right. Have a good night, guys.
Just to clarify, 14 blocks by us. I don't know if that's an SEC record.
Coach.
Oh, no, that's Arkansas.
Oh.
I'm looking to see, Mike, I was like you guys, I started.